What if I told you one man, deep behind enemy lines, destroyed an army twice his size by letting them win? This is Hannibal Barca, general of Carthage, master of strategy, and Rome's greatest nightmare. At just 9 years old, he swore a blood oath to destroy Rome. Now, decades later, in 216 BCE, he's about to do the unthinkable. After marching his army, yes, including war elephants, across the Alps, Hannibal was deep in Roman territory. No reinforcements, no supplies, just guts, cunning, and a thirst for revenge. Rome, furious and embarrassed, raised the largest army in its history, over 80,000 soldiers. Led by consuls Varro and Paulus, they vowed to crush Hannibal once and for all near a dusty little town called Cannae. But Hannibal didn't plan to fight them head on. He planned a trap. But how do you beat a force twice your size? You don't push back, you pull them in. Hannibal placed his weakest troops, the Gauls and Iberians, in the center. He wanted them to appear vulnerable. Behind them, he hid his elite African infantry. On both flanks, he placed swift cavalry led by his brother. When the Romans charged, they took the bait. They plowed into the center, pushing Hannibal's line backward. But here's the genius. The Carthaginian line wasn't breaking, it was bending, curving inward like a crescent moon. And as the Romans pressed deeper into the trap, Hannibal's cavalry smashed through the Roman horsemen on the flanks, circling behind them. The elite African infantry, waiting quietly on the sides, now turned inward. Rome's army was now completely surrounded. No retreat, no escape. Soldiers couldn't swing their swords. They were packed shoulder to shoulder, crushed by their own comrades. The air turned thick with dust, sweat, and blood. By sunset, over 50,000 Romans lay dead. It was one of the worst defeats in Roman history, and it was all because of a trap. But here's the tragedy. Hannibal won the battle, but not the war. Despite this masterpiece of strategy, he never marched on Rome. Some say he lacked the siege weapons. Others blame politics back in Carthage. He waited, and Rome rebuilt. Years later, Rome would return the favor, defeating Carthage and burning it to the ground. Hannibal outsmarted Rome, but in the end, Rome outlasted him. Yet at Cannae, he wrote the playbook for military genius. A battle still studied in war colleges today. Pause for reflection. Imagine being so brilliant, your enemy fears you even after you're gone. If you found this story fascinating, hit that like button to support more epic history tales. Subscribe for more moments where strategy shaped the world. And tell us in the comments, was Cannae Hannibal's greatest victory or his greatest mistake?